Welcome to AI Talks, where we break down artificial intelligence and the technology transforming business, sales, and channel marketing. From automation to digital transformation, we decode what actually drives growth. Let's dive in. Okay, let's unpack this. Through channel marketing automation, TCMA.
Right.
I know, as soon as you hear an acronym like that, your eyes kind of glaze over, don't they? It sounds incredibly dry, super technical.
It definitely has that corporate handbook vibe to it.
Yeah,
Like something you read in a basement office with no windows.
exactly. But here's the thing, and this is why we picked this for today's deep dive. When you actually peel back the layers, the reality of TCMA is this fascinating problem.
It's basically a massive game of broken telephone.
Yes, but played with millions and millions of dollars.
That is a very, very accurate way to put it. It's a high-stakes game where the message, it starts out clear and then it ends up completely garbled.
Or worse, it just never gets delivered at all.
Right.
So we're looking at a stack of documents today from a company called Optime, and it's all about their video to market platform, or V2M for short.
And the dates on these reports are from, October 2025 and February 2026. So this is pretty cutting-edge stuff we're looking at.
It is, and the central problem they identify is one that I think anyone in business has felt. You have a vendor, a big company making a product, then you have partners selling it, and then you have the actual sales reps on the ground.
And that's where the broken telephone happens. The vendor spends a fortune on these great marketing materials.
Beautiful campaigns.
Right, beautiful campaigns. Hands them off to the partner company, and then
Silence.
it gets lost in what Optime calls a fragmented partner ecosystem.
That phrase really stuck out to me. Fragmented partner ecosystem. It sounds so polite.
It's a very polite way of saying total chaos.
It's chaos, isn't it? It just
Right.
means the message never actually reaches the end customer because the sales rep, the person doing the selling, is too busy or confused or just can't find the right stuff.
Right.
So the mission for this deep dive is pretty specific. We want to figure out how Optime claims to solve this engagement crisis using two very potent technologies, artificial intelligence and interactive video.
And I think we need to be clear here. We aren't just talking about making videos that look a little cooler.
No, not at all. We are talking about fundamentally changing the mechanics of how B2B sales happen.
It's about how technology can bridge that gap between a marketing department in, say, New York and a sales rep in Tokyo or Sao Paulo.
Okay, so let's dive right into that. The first big hurdle the source material identifies is the death of static content.
Which sounds a bit dramatic, like an obituary.
I feel this one personally, though. I mean, think about how many PDFs or standard blast emails you get in a week, and be honest, how many do you actually read?
Almost none. If you're like most people, you skim the headline, maybe you open the attachment and then close it right away.
It feels like homework.
It is homework, and nobody wants more homework. And that's the problem with static content. It's passive. It demands that you, the user, do all the work.
The source material from Optime highlights a really striking stat from Wiseau on this.
Oh, yeah, the 12-second one?
Yeah, they found the average user engages with interactive content for 12 seconds longer.
Now, I know what you're thinking. 12 seconds. That doesn't sound like a lot.
Right. I can hold my breath for longer than that. Why is that number so important?
Because in the digital attention economy, 12 seconds is an eternity. I mean, think about how you scroll. You make a decision in milliseconds.
True.
So to get 12 extra seconds of someone's voluntary attention, that's the difference between them scrolling past your logo and actually understanding what you do.
That's the difference between a bounce and a lead.
Exactly. That's the hook.
And it seems like the industry's waking up to this. Optime cites a HubSpot study saying 88% of marketers report interactive video improves their ROI.
They are. But we need to define interactive video in this context. Because I think a lot of people hear that and think of like a choose-your-own-adventure game.
Or those old DVDs where you could select a scene.
Right. But what V2M is doing seems way more sophisticated. The documents talk about embedded assets.
So what does that actually look like? Unpack that for us.
Okay, so imagine you're watching a product video. The speaker mentions a technical spec sheet. In a normal video, you'd have to pause, open a new tab, search for it.
And you're gone. You've left the experience. And you're probably not coming back.
Exactly. In the V2M world, interactive means the video is a container for action. The calls to action, the forms, the PDFs, they're all built inside the video player itself.
So a button just appears on screen.
Right when the topic is mentioned. You click it, The PDF opens over the video. You never leave.
Ah, that's a huge distinction. So it shifts the whole thing from passive viewing
To active participation. You're watching, you see something you like, and you can grab it right there. I saw a line in their Future of Channel Activation slide that summed it up.
What was that?
The goal is turning every campaign into direct, trackable sales action.
That makes so much sense. It's not about brand awareness or just counting views. It's about action. Did they click the form? Did they download the sheet?
And that without leaving part is the key. Every time you make someone click away, you lose a bunch of people. V2M keeps them in that ecosystem.
Which leads us to the next piece of the puzzle. We've got the tech interactive video, but who's actually using it? This is where I think the Optime approach gets really interesting.
The sales rep.
They identified the sales rep as the most important link in the chain.
Not the VP of marketing, not the partner CEO, the person on the ground.
And this is usually where all this marketing software just falls apart. It stops at the company level. A marketing kit gets sent to the partner.
And it just sits in a portal somewhere. And the actual sales reps, the people trying to hit their quota, they never even see it.
Oh, portals. Let's talk about portals because the source material makes a huge point about frictionless activation.
Right. If you've ever worked in sales, you know the absolute pain of the partner portal. You have to remember a password, log in, navigate 6 different menus.
And half the time the password has expired.
Or the portal is just down. It's friction. And in sales, friction kills adoption. If it takes me 20 minutes to find a video to send a client, I'm just going to send the old PDF on my desktop.
Even if it's 2 years out of date.
Even then, it's just faster.
So how does V2M solve that? The documents mention one-click access, no login. That sounds almost too good to be true for a corporate tool.
This is one of those features that sounds so simple, but is actually a really heavy technical lift.
Yeah.
V2M generates a unique, personalized link for every single sales rep.
Wait, hold on. So if I'm a vendor with, say, 5,000 partners and they have 20,000 reps combined.
Every single one of those 20,000 reps gets their own personal URL.
Wow.
They don't log in, they get an email, they click their link, and it opens a player that's preloaded with their data. Their name, their contact info, their company logo, it's all there.
That's huge for a salesperson. I mean, just the psychology of it. If I have to log in and search for something, I'm probably not going to do it.
But if it's just there, the frictionless part removes that barrier. And they don't just get a video. The platform gives them what they call a campaign wizard.
Okay, and this is where the AI starts to really come in, right? I saw they mention an AI campaign advisor.
Yes. And it's not just a chatbot. It helps customize the outreach. A lot of sales reps are great at talking to people, but they aren't, professional copywriters.
Right, they don't know the perfect email subject line.
The AI advisor suggests the copy, suggests the timing, and guides them. But maybe the most futuristic part of this, in the February 2026 docs, is the human AI avatars.
I saw that. It sounds like science fiction.
It really does. But it's solving a very specific problem, localization.
Meaning translation.
More than that. Let's say you're a vendor in the US. You make a great video with your VP of product. That's great for your American partners. But what about your partners in Brazil or Japan?
Usually you just slap some subtitles on it and call it a day.
Which is low effort and gets low engagement. The alternative is to fly a film crew to Tokyo and reshoot the whole thing, which nobody has the budget for.
So the AI avatar fixes this.
The platform can take that original video and regenerate it so the avatar is speaking Portuguese or Japanese. And it's not just dubbing the audio, it adjusts the lip sync, the facial expressions, even the tone.
That is wild. So the sales rep in Brazil gets a video that looks and sounds totally native to their market.
Exactly. Without the marketing team in New York having to lift a finger, it scales the human connection.
Okay, so let's track this journey. The sales rep gets their unique link. Easy, no login. The content is localized by AI. They send it out. The customer clicks it. Now we get to the part that I think is the real goldmine for the business.
The data. The demand signals.
I love that term, demand signals. They call them the digital breadcrumbs of intent and interest.
And that distinction between views and intent is everything.
Yeah.
A view is a vanity metric. My cat can walk on my keyboard and get a view. Tells you nothing.
So what are these breadcrumbs? What are we actually tracking here?
According to the platform mapping doc, it's incredibly granular. First, you have geographic activity, so you get visual maps showing exactly where the clicks are happening.
So you can see a campaign is blowing up in Chicago, but totally dead in Miami.
Right. Then you have retention charts.
Oh.
This tracks viewers per second, so you see the exact moment people stop watching.
That's brutal feedback for a marketing team, but so useful.
Then there's overlay time. This measures how long a user interacts with a pop-up inside the video. Did they hover over the pricing button?
If someone's hovering over pricing, that's a pretty strong signal.
A very strong signal. And speaking of signals, they use the BANT methodology for lead scoring.
Okay, break that down. BANT.
It's a classic sales framework. Budget, authority, need, and timing. Usually, a rep has to ask these questions on a call, and it can feel like an interrogation.
It's so awkward. So what's your budget for this?
Yeah. But V2M uses the interactive forms inside the video to gather this data automatically. The system asks, when are you looking to buy? Or what's your team size? And it scores the lead based on the answers.
So the video is actually qualifying the lead before a human even gets involved.
Bingo. And this all comes back to that unique link. Because the system knows exactly which rep sent the video, this data doesn't just go to some corporate dashboard to die.
It goes directly to the rep.
In real time, straight to their inbox.
That's the so what moment, isn't it? Because marketing leads usually take days to filter down. By then, the lead is ice cold.
Here, the rep gets a notification. Hey, Steve from Acme Corp just watched 80% of your video, hovered on pricing, and said he's buying in Q3.
That is a total game changer. You're not cold calling anymore. You're calling someone you know is interested.
You are making what they call a warm, data-backed intervention. You're not a blind archer shooting into the dark. You're a sniper with a laser scope.
I like that image. Okay, but let's zoom out to the corporate level. The sales reps are happy, they have leads, but what about the companies footing the bill? The source brings up MDF.
Marketing Development Funds. The lifeblood of the channel partner world.
Explain that for anyone who isn't deep in B2B finance.
So a large vendor, a big tech company, gives money to their partners to help them sell products. Here's $10,000. Go run a marketing campaign.
Free money.
It's supposed to be an investment. But the document notes that while 85% of B2B companies use MDF, proving the ROI is notoriously difficult.
The black hole of marketing spend.
Exactly. The vendor gives the money. The partner spends it on something, and nobody knows if it worked. But because V2M tracks everything down to that unique link, it provides full ROI visibility.
So the vendor can see exactly what happened with their money.
Down to the penny. We gave partner a $5,000, and their rep, Steve, generated 50 leads and closed 10 deals with this specific video.
That transparency has to be terrifying for some partners.
And amazing for the good ones. It brings accountability. There's a tool mentioned called the Optime Channel Performance Quadrant. OCPQ.
Another acronym. We're collecting them today.
It's the industry. But this one's useful. It's basically a chart. On one axis, you have money given, and on the other, you have performance.
So you can instantly see who's taking the money and running and who's actually turning it into sales.
Exactly. You can cut funding to the underperformers and double down on your stars. It allows for dynamic decision-making.
Now, whenever we talk about tracking individuals and gathering customer data, the big red flag that goes up is security.
Absolutely. Especially for enterprise clients. Banks, hospitals.
It's everything. And the source docs address this. They highlight that the platform is ISO 27001 certified.
Which is the gold standard for information security. It's the price of admission, really. It tells a client we are not playing fast and loose with your data.
It's trust insurance.
Exactly.
And it seems like the users themselves are pretty happy with it. I noticed an NPS stat in their Net Promoter Score.
Yeah, they boast an NPS of above +80.
And for context, anything above 50 is excellent. Above 80 is
world class. It's Apple and Costco territory. For B2B software, which is usually clunky and hated by everyone, an NPS of 80 is almost unheard of.
It goes back to that frictionless idea. If you make it easy, no login, one clip, people will like it.
And if you make it profitable for them by giving them warm leads, they will love it. It solves their problem, not just the marketing department's problem.
So let's synthesize this. We started with the broken telephone. Marketing spends money, but the message gets lost.
And the V2M solution isn't just make a prettier video. It's an entire infrastructure change. It's automation that actually bypasses the friction points.
It feels like 3 layers. Layer 1 is creation using AI and avatars to make localized content at scale.
Right. Layer 2 is delivery using interactive video to hook the viewer and collect data.
And layer 3 is that data loop, using the unique links to bypass the portals and feed those demand signals right back to the sales rep.
It removes the excuse of, I didn't have the right materials from the sales team, and it removes the excuse of, we don't know if it worked from the marketing team.
It shifts the entire mindset from just broadcasting and hoping
to actually engaging.
There's a section in the source material, The Future of Channel Activation, that I think leaves us with a really provocative final thought.
What stood out to you there?
It talks about how buyers are now continuously emitting signals, not just when they call you, but every time they click or watch something. So if AI can capture those signals without a sales rep even needing to log in, are we approaching a world where the cold call is effectively dead?
That is the big question. If you have the data, there's really no such thing as a cold call anymore. Every interaction becomes a warm, data-backed intervention.
You're not interrupting their day.
You're responding to a signal they already sent. You're answering a question they silently asked.
A world without cold calls. Now that is a future I think we can all get behind.
I certainly wouldn't miss them.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive into Optime's V2M and the wild world of TCMA. We hope this gave you a few ideas to take back to your own teams.
Always a pleasure to dig into the data.
Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Subscribe here on YouTube and follow us across our channels for more insights on AI, automation, sales innovation, and channel marketing strategies. Drop your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay ahead with AI.